Hi everyone, it's BDevine and welcome to the Divine Miracles channel and the Tarot Mini Forecast this week for fire signs, which is Aries, Leo and Sagittarius. And looking forward to seeing what's coming up. I am using the Tarot of the Old Path and I don't often use this deck, but it's here for us this week, so we'll see what comes up. I'm starting off with Aries and I hope you are happy and well wherever you are. And I'm going to be doing the guidance for the month coming up really soon too, but I'm just traveling home tomorrow, so that's a 10-hour drive so hopefully to do this on Thursday or Friday, so you'll have the guidance messages up soon. Okay, so let's start with Aries and see what's coming up. Alright, Aries. Okay, the Eight of Cauldrons, which is also the Eight of Cups. And you can see this person here has all the cups, you know, gathered, sort of turning away from those women in the background there, and going on his own path. And there's a message in that for you too. There may be some of you in Aries who have a lot of people talking about you all the time, or have felt that, you know, that you're always, you know, no matter what you do, there's always someone there with something to say about it. But it feels like you've made a big change within yourself on this. So you've decided you no longer care what anyone else thinks, does, says, whatever situations have been there. You're over all the drama and you're moving away from this. This is an emotional card. So emotionally, you are moving away from a situation that has not been helpful to you. That may have felt helpful at the time, or it may have been an easy option at the time, but it hasn't really been the best thing for you. And you've decided to move away from this, and this is very beneficial for you, okay? Although it takes a lot to move out of a situation that you have a lot of interest in or a lot of time in. Like sometimes we might be friends with people for like 20 years or have known people for 20 or 30 years, and then you're trying to turn away from them. It's not exactly easy, but you've seen the pattern of events continue and you've seen that nothing's really changed, and it's time for you to grasp yourself, you know, grab yourself like you are here, grabbing these cups, grabbing your emotions and getting out of there, making a whole new direction for yourself, lifting the burden for yourself and your life, and moving you into a direction more to your liking. Less drama, less worry, less concern, and more the abundance and the things that you want to achieve without having to be always catering to everybody else. Aries, it's time to give yourself a break. Do the things that you know bring you the most happiness, and don't feel responsible for anyone else's happiness anymore. You're only ever responsible for your own. And the movement forward, in blue here, he's wearing blue, that also brings you a lot of strength and confidence and speaking, and moving more into a abundant future that you really want for yourself, okay? So the people that are leaving your life now, that's a good thing, okay? Although it may be a shock at first, let them go, and you'll find yourself in a much happier place that you really deserve to be, okay? Now that's an interesting one for Aries, and for Leo, all my Leo friends, okay? What do we got? The Two of Swords. Okay, so this comes up very differently in, you know, many people's decks, but this one I'm seeing, well, obviously we're getting a lot of yellow here, and yellow being the solar plexus in the body, our power center. And I was talking about this on one of the other cards, is sometimes when people are draining us of our energy, they like to latch on to the solar plexus, okay? And sometimes you will start getting a nervous reaction here or a panicked reaction in the solar plexus chakra. And this was happening to me yesterday. I was working on someone distantly and I was inadvertently taking on, you know, what was going on with them. And it was happening right into my solar plexus chakra. So as soon as I became aware of this, and I thought, well, this is not my anxiousness, this is not my anxiety at all, I was able to cut that away and remove it from myself and clear myself of anyone's energy that wasn't my own. This is very important for all of us to learn to take control of as we're going through our journey, because the more sensitive we are, the more empathic we are, the more that we're picking up on other people. And I've known people who have had problems for most of their life physically that weren't even their own problems. And as soon as they started to lift these things away and work it out and trigger on that fact, they're completely healthy and well. Okay, so be aware that there is a lot of things energetically that we each pick up on because we are empaths and because we care and because we're healers and because we're working on our spiritual self, that we're picking up on these things and it's causing havoc within our own bodies. So it's time to take control. So solar plexus, work on cutting that, work with Archangel Michael to cut away any energy that is not your own or anything that you don't need energetically as well. The Two of Swords also talks about sometimes situations that we're blinded to. Sometimes there's things going on around us that we're not really seeing clearly. And because the Two of Swords is coming up now, this would suggest to me that you are just about to start seeing things very, very clearly. That perhaps there's been things kept from you for a really, really long time. And you may have had this feeling about it, but, you know, not being able to get any answers. And it feels like this may be something that comes to you very, very soon. Something that starts to just become a revelation to you, or something that dawns on you, or memories that you have that you start to piece together, which is also very important. This is not a time for arguing with anybody or having any stress in your life. You're not very good with having stress in your life. It does tend to, for Leos, you know, the center of our being that our heart does go under a lot of pressure, and when we start to stress out, we start to feel it in this area too. Whenever we have inflammation in our body, even in your feet, it means the inflammation's also going into your lungs, into your heart, into these areas too. It's never just in one spot. This is something that you learn a little bit with healing too. So take care that you're not becoming overwhelmed in situations. Take care that you are always working on balancing yourself and clearing yourself from any energy that's not your own, and trust in your path a little bit more. Keep on moving forward. Try not to look back too much, because you're not going that way anymore. You're moving forward, and there's going to be some new things on the horizon for you. Okay, so a really good message for Leo as well. And now for Sagittarius, here we go. Ooh, Sagittarius needs a shuffle. The Magician for Sagittarius, okay? So you've got a lot of power animals working with you too. Some of you have got the wolf, some of you have got the horse. Some of you are very connected to ancient ruins and things like this too. But the Magician card comes up in a time when we are really at a crossroads in our life. You know, there's many different, sometimes there's 4 different directions to go in, sometimes 2, you know, and you just don't know exactly which way to turn. And the more you start thinking about which way to turn, the more confused you become. And then when you become confused, then you start to become stressed, and then when you start to become stressed, you start to feel lethargic and tired, and then your body starts to ache, and then you feel like nothing's working or you're not getting any answers, so you start thinking about it again. So you're going around and round and round in circles. And it's very, very important that you start to recognize this, and you recognize it before it starts to get big. One thing about Sagittarius is that you guys like to really know what's happening. You like to feel like, if I know this is happening in my future and I know that everything's going to be fine, then I'll keep on going in that direction. But if I don't know if it's going to be fine, then I don't know where to go. I feel lost. Okay, that's what Sagittarius is. You know, most of you guys are like. Okay, this is all about learning to trust, learning to follow your inner self and your inner compass, which always leads you in the right direction anyway. Even if you don't think so, it always tends to do so. Also to stop focusing on all of the possibilities around you, and instead focus your mind on a vision of success for yourself. Okay, so instead of going, oh, if I do that, that's going to happen, and that's going to happen, and that's going to be bad, and this is going to... say to yourself, okay, everything that I do is actually going to be easy, and this is where I want to be, this or somewhere better in my future. So I'm going to ask for a placement of easiness to be into my future, of healing to be in my future, of abundance to be in my future. These are all going to be there. So what am I worrying about over here? Now, you may first go into meditation and get that looking beautiful into your future, and as soon as you come out of your meditation, say, but how am I going to do this? And that means you're just trying to take the control back again, you know? Let it all go. Each time that you start to say, how is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? I don't seem to see any results. When you start doing this, say to yourself, I'm doing that thing again where I'm sabotaging my future. I don't want to do that anymore. So no, I've already asked for this stuff to happen, this or something better to happen, and I'm going to just let that happen, and then I'm going to catch myself drifting off and going around in circles. Because we know that we don't get anywhere other than being flat on our back, you know, exhausted, wiped out, fatigued, tired, you know, attacked, all these kinds of things. So the only way around it is to change the way that we think, and you know, change what we've been focusing on, you know, for the most part. So what predominantly is on your mind is what happens. So if we can have that in the back of our mind, thinking, do I really want all this bad stuff to keep happening to me? Or am I going to continue to focus and visualize success for myself? Even if I don't know how it's going to happen, I need to keep on focusing on this, and then I'm going to watch the results that start to come in. Because this way of thinking, going around in circles, doesn't give me any results. You know, it makes life difficult for me. So I need to go in this direction. And this is something that is good advice for anyone. It was how I got myself out of very many years of total agoraphobia and like social phobia, anxiety, like everything. I'm scared to do everything. Scared of people's opinions of me, comparing myself to other people, being afraid to speak up for myself, being afraid to speak at all in case I was shut down. I started to visualize myself in a more successful way. And slowly but surely, it started to happen, and here I am now with you guys. Okay, so I only tell you the things that I know really work. And this is something that you can make work for you. And it's telling you that you're at that crossroads now. So what you're thinking about, you're bringing about. What's most on your mind is happening. What is it going to be for you? Because this shows it's going to be very, very abundant if you allow it to be. Okay? So those are the messages for the fire signs, which are really, really powerful, and I hope that you enjoyed. And please know that I am available for readings, healings, attunements. I do donations, you know, all kinds of specials happening for the month of December too. So please check out my website, divinemiracles.com. But until the next time, hopefully I might see you on Facebook or all social media at Divine Miracles. But until the next time, goodbye for now. Bye.